Buffalo's gonna win it both.
We've seen why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout.
Buffalo Bills go undefeated. And we're going to the Super Bowl, yeah.
Now, baby, come on, come on.
No one
Come on
circles the
and
wagon
shout.
like the Buffalo Bills.
All right, we are live, and we are back. Welcome to another episode of the Overdue Bills podcast, and I guess we got somber notes going on today. Definitely got some somber notes going on today. We lost. There may be people on this podcast that predicted the loss, but we're definitely going to talk about. We're going to talk about it. But before we do that, I do want to, talk to the cast. I want to talk to, y'all. I'm just gonna ask
wake it up, man. Wake it up, man.
I don't want to wake it up.
Wake it up, man.
I don't want to wake it up, but I do want to ask. And I guess I'll start with Raz since he want to scream.
Hey, so eulogy we doing today, right? Relax.
Raz,
Wake it up.
What is your emotions right now as it relates to the team? Are you mad? Are you sick? Are you numb? Or are you already in next season mode?
I mean, the word is disappointed. I mean, I think I'm disappointed. I think, we can talk about the game, we can talk about whatever, but I'm disappointed. I think the Bills would have taken to definitely make it to the Super Bowl. We see the teams that play. We saw both teams. We saw all the teams that played. And somehow we had the worst quarterback of the weekend, but we can talk about that later. But yeah, I'm just disappointed overall, but I'm good. I'm good spirits. It is what it is. Let's move on to the next season like we always do. This ain't the first year we haven't won a Super Bowl.
Mike, sad, sick, mad, numb, or are you already in next season mode? And listen to everybody out there. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Just asking everybody how they feel coming on to the podcast. And if you're in the comments, even now, we want to know: are you mad? Like, are you mad, frustrated? Is it just a numb thing? I know there are older people here, so you may be a little numb because you've gone through this time and time again, with the Bills. Or are you just like, all right, I'm on to the next. We're ready for next season.
So let me say this first. Shout out to my wife Angela. Today is our 4-year anniversary, so I'm gonna give a shout out to her. Big 4 years.
Congratulations!
Time.
Congratulations,
appreciate that.
Guys.
Time flying. It's weird, preach, because I was talking to Swanson already on 10. I saw the Millie. Happy birthday to Asher too.
So everybody in the chat, they early. Yeah, everybody couldn't wait. Shout out to Mill, shout out to her, shout out to Ed. Everybody in the chat, man. Thank you. Shout out to Ed, shout out to Mill, shout out to Joey. Yeah, Joey, we're gonna talk later. Herb in the chat. But I would say this: when the Bills was in the drought, a regular season loss would devastate me for the week. And I think now, I always know that next season is not just next season is going to be our year. Next season can be the year. We got Josh Allen, depending on who the next coach is. Right, the next season really might be the year, and I truly do believe that. So I'm not mad. I'm not upset. I'm disappointed. It was right there for the taking. But I know that whatever we do, it's a good chance that it might work. It's a chance it might not work either. But so I would say I'm more excited for the upcoming season. I'm excited to see who the coach will be. I'm excited for Brandon Beane press conference tomorrow. Like that's where I'm at. Nah, don't hate me, man.
Yeah. So everybody in the comments, the question is, as we kind of start the pod, what is the emotion right now for most Bills fans? Is it like, are we just really, really, really upset? Matt, are you ready to kind of move on? It is what it is. Or are you getting numb to this?
It's sad to say, but I'm starting to get numb to it, man. And it's being at AOG, watching with everybody, had a lot of mixed emotions Saturday. It was, but me, it's almost like, damn, it's like, it's another way that we lose, a crazy way we lose. We talked about it on the pod. We asked the question, if we lose, how's it going to happen? And I think we all said it, how it was going to happen. And that's exactly how it happened. So I'm definitely starting to get numb to it. I'm a little bit numb, or I'm a little bit shocked with what happened, yesterday with the firing and all that stuff. But I don't know how to feel. I don't really have a feeling, I guess, right now. But we'll get into that though as the show goes on.
I would say it's amazing to me. I'm probably 95% right generally on this show as it relates to the Bills. I mean, most people generally when news comes out, most people text my phone like, "Yo, Sam, you was right." And shout out to my cousin, my cousin Ja. He on right now. He sent the receipts. I didn't even want to show the receipts. I honestly, I don't like showing receipts no more because I be right like all the time. All my sources, Mike know. I say these things in the beginning of the year, and everybody look at me like, "Oh my God, Sam is just talking." No, I'm actually. This stuff is from horse's mouth. Everybody know I'm tapped in. Like, if you don't know that I'm tapped in by now, then I'm not sure where you've been at. But I'm definitely tapped into the Bills. I'm in the locker room. I know the people. You know what I'm saying? I hear the conversations that's going on. But listen, we're gonna get into all that. Shout out to Buffalo fan base. Shout out to Buffalo fan base. Shout out to Buffalo fan base. We definitely appreciate them for the collab. And Matt, if you could be so kind to let the people know who is our presenting sponsor of this show today.
Yeah, so the presenting sponsor for this show and every other show is our good friends over at AOG Cigar Lounge. AOG is the premier cigar lounge in Western New York. Located at 3495 Delaware Avenue. AOG is the cigar lounge to go in and enjoy a game, catch up with friends, and get some work done. Anything you got to do. It's definitely a great spot to go to. They have an awesome selection of cigars and then drinks to pair with it. They got flight specials, beer bucket specials, a lot of amazing things they have going on at their lounge. Just celebrated their 2-year anniversary. It was a great time. Definitely go in, take advantage of all their awesome prices and awesome selection today, and tell them the Overdue Bills sent you.
Shout out to the AOG Cigar Lounge. Definitely appreciate them throughout the whole season. They've been rocking with us. Can't say enough about that. And I want everybody to know, even right now, overduebillspod.com, overduebillspod.com. Definitely want you to go to the website. Shout out to Mills, silent partner. He's been doing a lot of great things on the website. And want you to go there and look at it. Go to the website right now and look at it. Also, we want you to go to our Overdue Bills podcast on YouTube. Go to the Overdue Bills podcast at YouTube. Definitely want you to subscribe to our YouTube page. We tried to hit 500 subscribers. Season's not over yet. So we got a lot to talk about. We definitely gonna have a few more shows because we definitely listen. This is not the last show of the season. We're definitely gonna talk about some more things because I listen. I got a lot of sources, and I don't know if I'm gonna drop the biggest one today. Like, it's a press conference tomorrow, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. That's the cliffhanger. But
my God. All right, yo, I'm gonna let you get it off. Pause. Let you get it off.
But you say that, Rad. What? Tell me when I have been wrong. But anyways.
But let it off. Pause. I'm sorry.
Quick question of the day. Quick question of the day. This is how we gonna go through it because we definitely got to recap the game, and I want to hear everybody's thoughts on the game that we just played, that playoff game we just played. We're gonna talk about it in a second.
Yo, Herb, I can't put that up, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy. Quick question: If I told you, Matt, because we talked about this last pod, if I told you, Matt, that the Bills will score 30 points. James Cook will go for over 100 yards. Would you have said that the Bills would have won?
Absolutely. 9 times out of 10. Absolutely. That was the recipe to success all season long. So yeah.
Would you have said the Bills would have won if I gave you that?
I don't know, man. Like I talked about with McDermott is I know it's funny. For one, I didn't pick the Bills to win. So I think we all know that. But I said it was McDermott gonna let Bo Nix and them carve him up. And not that Bo Nix carved them up. I think the defense did a decent job on it. But this is another year where a team is scoring pretty much 30 points on you. They're going down at the end of the game and getting what they need to win the game. And you're not. So what if you told me that, would I have picked the Bills? Maybe, but it's definitely a scenario where they definitely lose that I couldn't imagine.
There you go, Herb.
Rad. If I told you those same stats, would you believe that the Bills? What would you have thought?
I mean, when we key to success last week, I said, I was a James Cook game. I said 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. I didn't think 100 yards and a fumble. But yeah, I thought offensively, the game plan was great, flawless. But players got to make plays and do what they got to do. But the game plan, I think it was just flawless. Brady, A1, A+.
Okay. All right. Let's get into a recap of the game. Let's get into a recap of the game. Broncos 33, Bills 30. Overtime game. Bills led 27-23. Late. But Denver took the lead and we lost. Lost the game in overtime. Josh Allen, tough game. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, few fumbles. James Cook, 24 rushes, 117 yards, big time fumble. Surprisingly, we got touchdowns from Mecole Hardman, Keon Coleman, Kincaid. Say that 3 times, right? But a few turning points in the game, and you can pinpoint those things if you want to as we recap the game. But my one big question, I'm gonna go to Matt first. My one big question, I want everybody else to answer this in the comments right now. My one big question is, was this loss more about turnovers or situational defense late? Was this loss for you, Matt, and everybody in the comments, and especially I want Swanson to answer this, was this loss more about the turnovers we had or the situational defense that showed up late in the game?
I'm going to say it's more so about the turnovers we had. I mean, if you just break down each of the turnovers, right? We are driving down the field easy. James Cook fumbles in the red zone. We go out 14-3 there. It's a huge thing. They get the ball, they score off that fumble. The next turnover, the Curtis Samuel interception. If big arm Josh in the high altitude throws that into the end zone, that's 6. He underthrew him. Curtis had to come back.
Curtis Samuel would have caught the ball.
I thought he would have 100% caught the ball. He had him beat by 5 yards.
Do you have any evidence of that?
I watched him at Ohio State do it all the time, so I did.
And
I watched him in the playoffs last year too.
Maybe he don't catch the ball, but Denver player don't. How about that one?
But
not have the defense.
But then another huge one right before the half. We're down 7. I was talking to my brother. I'm like, all right, we get the ball at half, no problem. We're going to be down 7. We're going to come down scoring. Them boys tie it up. Josh goes into whatever mode, fumbles, gives them the ball back. They score off that. Then you got another, all of the turnovers in that game were huge because they turned out to be either points for the Broncos or absolute killers for us, or just very controversial for us. So I'm going to say if we don't turn the ball over 3 times in that game, we win that game by 2 touchdowns, and that's kind of my stance on it. And that was a huge one for me.
Mike, you feel the same way?
I don't. I look at turnovers differently than a lot of people. Because if I told you that the Bills punted 5 times, if I told Rad or Matt, hey, the Bills going to punt 5 times in this game, do the Bills win? They both probably say yes, right? So I do think that the fumbles are obviously different because they fumbled like in Broncos territory. Right? The 2 interceptions were almost arm punts. But at the end of the day, if
I agree with that.
If the Bills are up by 1 at the 14-yard line with the ball, and to score to go up by 8 or go for 2 and go up by 9, I'm taking that, bro. Like, turn the ball over, whatever you want. We right here to go win the game. And Josh Allen missed a pass, and then the defense let us down, and didn't make a stop. So I'm saying it's more on situational, the late defense than the turnover. Because at the end of the day, the turnovers we were still right there to win the game, and we didn't make the plays. So I'm blaming that. I'm not blaming the turnovers.
Rad, you the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it has to be the turnovers. I really, I obviously gonna talk about the coaching, but the coaching I thought the game plan on both sides was hit well. You know what I'm saying? I thought, you know what I mean, that on both sides of the ball, even in overtime, we got to stop. You kick it to them, we get to stop. You know what I'm saying? So I think just situational football, I think the coaching put the players in good positions. I thought the players let us down. James Cook fumble, Josh Allen, even the Deion Dawkins, Shakir fake chip, whatever that was on the fumble. I'm not, on the fumble. It just was terrible. It was just terrible. Like, what are y'all doing? You know what I'm saying? You chipped them to Josh. So I think the players just, it was weird. I thought, but the coaching, I thought was good. I think the turnovers killed us. We lost by 3. We had 5 turnovers. We lost, 5-1, and we lost by 3. You know what I'm saying? And we gave it to them. We gave them the game even with 5 turnovers. We was that much better than them. We was the better team up and down. We watched it. When you watched it, we was better. It's just an unexcusable loss in my explanation, and a lot. It just goes to the turnovers. It's just a sloppy play of overall. You know what I mean? I would just say this. Hopefully, Josh Allen, if he got a cape, if he wear a cape under his coat, go take it off and go burn it. You don't have to be Superman, bro. Leave that for the pundits and us to say that you are, but do you actually believe in you are? It's probably is hindering us, and that was lost in that game. You don't got to believe you Superman. You're Josh Allen. Be Josh Allen.
Okay, and let me ask everybody this. Rat, you thought that Josh Allen was acting like Superman because he threw turnovers? Is that what you're saying?
No, the play before halftime was clearly a Superman type of effort. Like, what are you doing? Like, what are we doing? You running? It was 5 seconds. You run in the middle of the field with a ball. Like, what? Only thing that can happen.
Why do you think we ran a play?
Because we thought we had a good. We thought we had a smart quarterback that's gonna make a smart play. If it's not there, throw it away. Not try to run down the middle of the field. Like, what were you gonna do? If you like, what was he gonna do?
That was more Superman than Superman.
It was just a bad play. Burn your cape, bro.
I don't think we should have ran a play though. I think that didn't make sense either.
What? But Sam, if you,
I'm just saying, two things can be true. That Josh Allen made a bad play.
That's fine.
It was a bad call.
Maybe you don't run a play.
Tony Romo even said it in the moment.
Sam, but it don't matter. We did run a play, and he did fumble it. And he made the dumbest play possible.
Yeah, but sometimes it's coaching. Coaching puts you in a worse position. I think that if we know that Josh Allen has the ability to be Superman, then you shouldn't make the play. That's a coaching error.
We thought he didn't have. We thought
that's just like case in point. And y'all hate when I do this. But I bring in Andy Reid and I bring in
Andy Reid,
Pat Mahomes, right?
They will go for it and try to get a field goal. 100%.
No, I've seen them do knees all the time. But pause.
Yeah, but you know what? In Denver with the altitude, you can get another 10 yards.
Let me say this.
You can try to get another 10 yards out of a kick.
Let me say this before we start that part. What I'm saying is that sometimes you got to take that out of the person's hand, and I've seen multiple times.
I'm not saying that's not true.
That's taking it out.
But what he did was ridiculous.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
You don't see Pat Mahomes. You don't see Pat Mahomes doing anything. There's a reason for that.
Was it ridiculous or not?
Yeah, I would say this. If we had, because I thought we were going to take a knee and just take it to half and regroup. I did think that, but we saw Mahomes go down there in 13 seconds. Obviously, we didn't have any touchdowns. Any timeouts. But the Jaguars just the week before went down there and got a kickoff with 0 seconds left.
It's not like it's
so to leave points on the board, it was 17 it's not something that I love. If it's any quarterback that can make a play to get down there, it's Josh Allen. Now, should I take a knee? Yes, probably. But only person to blame here is Josh Allen. Like to even talk about the coaching decision.
I don't understand the other point. Yep. I really don't get it.
Yeah,
don't call the play.
I do. That's think the point. Take a knee, but don't take a knee. But don't take a knee because you think Josh Allen gonna mess up. If you think Josh Allen gonna mess up, then we got bigger issues.
Can I ask a question to everybody? Everybody got kids on this podcast, correct?
No.
If your kid has either a disability or they can't do something, you as a parent should put them in a position to do that. That is idiotic. That's the problem with the world today. That is your issue. Like
what's the next question?
This is exactly what I'm saying. Y'all never hear that. Case in point. Let's talk about it because let's extrapolate this conversation, right? Because what you're saying is the most painful stat is Josh Allen 4 giveaways. But other people may be saying that the late touchdown drive and putting certain players in certain positions, not running zone, not having help in the back of Dane Jackson and so many other players is an issue. I've heard that. So I'm asking everybody out there, do anybody have a problem with Sean McDermott defensive calls when certain players went out? He played man against certain other players. Dane Jackson came in the game. He got torched, right? People have said that it may have been some safety help back there. It was not. I'm just asking the question. I'm only asking the question because people were saying these things. Matt, how do you feel about that?
I mean, it's just a whole other issue with obviously it was better coaching by Sean Payton attacking the new person coming in. You see it time and time again. Yeah. That's what the greats do. A guy goes down, you get injured. Tony Romo said it a bunch of times. You attack the guy who's subbing in. Guys are playing well in that spot. Cam Lewis went down. Savage, you went at him the first play. Trey White was playing good all game long. He goes down for a play. Dane Jackson comes in fresh in a big moment. You attack them. They did the same thing to Pat Mahomes did the same thing to Kyrie Irving last year. It's the same. It's the same formula. I don't blame McDermott for that. I don't.
I'm just asking a question. Yeah. Mike, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I do give more credit to Peyton. I talked about this last week with Cohen. It's like, bro, once Hancock got in there, like, bro, throw the ball to whoever he's checking. But at the same time, I'm torn because if this was basketball and somebody sub in and we pressing or you playing man and Mills get in the game, are you going to switch the zone?
Yes. I mean, coaches do it all the time.
But what's
coaches
literally
do that all the time. Yeah, coaches literally do that all the time.
If you can't defend, I feel you. I agree.
Got one job. The coach literally only has one job to evaluate your players, and if you have a bad player, don't put them in a bad position.
But thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. We're in a spot where we have to have players like that, whether it's injuries, whether it's a waiver blunder by Brandon Bean. You know,
he's starting early.
You know, it is what it is. We are in a position where we had those players, and McDermott, I think he coached up a group of players that we would not see normally on the field. I think he coached them up. He did a hell of a job with those players.
And that was literally the only positive player they had the whole second half.
Yeah.
Like they was pulling out another shutout in the second half. Again, that's what that's what we've been doing. They was shutting out this team another half. Trey White get hurt, things happen, but we still should have won that game. I mean, I don't think, I
agree. It's been next man up all season long, but sometimes the next man up ain't the best man. And they exploited that.
Yeah. What Mike said, I give it to Sean Payton. Sean Payton he's a great player.
That is the point, though. I think we're rushing past the point. I'm not denying a next man up mentality, and that is what he's been preaching. But having a next man up mentality doesn't take the onus off a coach from coaching the players and calling the right play for that moment. Like what I mean by that is when you look at, granted, it may be different, and I don't like to bring in different teams, but if we bring in another player who is suited to do something else than the number one, then we should not call those plays for that, right? I mean, I'm just saying, like, some people will argue that. But this is some people would argue that.
But this basketball may be 5-on-5 zone, but this is football. You're not about to change your whole defense for one player, bro. Like
he's a zone coach. That's not changing anything.
But we haven't been running. No, that's not.
I'm just saying he's historically a zone coach. We all can agree that he's historically a zone coach, right? As everybody in the comments in agreement that Sean McDermott is historically a zone coach.
But one way to help Dane Jackson out is to not have him in coverage for 10 seconds. It is let's see if we can get some pressure, speed him up, and get the ball out of his hands. But granted,
my bad, Mike.
We just have the worst D line of all time, so it didn't matter. He stood back there for 10 seconds.
That was I personally
didn't know that.
No, I personally think that was the right. I personally think it was the right play call. I mean, the catch was whatever. We could talk about the catch, but it's Bo Nix to Marvin Mims. I mean, like, what you got to live with that 50-50 ball. You just got to live with it, get the play over, and hopefully Trey White get back in the next play, but it happened to be a touchdown. I'm not mad at Sean McDermott or Babbage for that play. I think the defensive calls, I think, like I said, the coaching was fine. It was good to me. The players didn't make their plays.
So or just
kill themselves. I mean,
because we can push this conversation forward, because before we get to what everybody wants to talk about, I think it's important to talk about the people who we still have right now, right? And obviously the front office Pagula did not believe that. I'm assuming Sean McDermott, he didn't have the winning formula for the biggest games. And they're not wrong because we've lost all the biggest games under Sean McDermott. That is a legitimate fact. I'm not making that up. That's not engaging hyperbole. If you just look at our history, we lose all the biggest games when Sean McDermott is the coach. That is a legitimate fact, y'all. I mean, people can get mad.
Every playoff game is a big game. We won playoff games, so I can't say he 8 and 7.
I said the biggest. I'm talking about the biggest games we have played. We've lost.
Yeah, but if you play in the playoff, you know what I'm saying. You play. That's the biggest game.
No, regardless of whatever you say, you can try to slice it up and try. I'm just saying, it's a fact.
But it's one of those. Yeah, he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Well, we lost. We haven't won the Super Bowl. Understand? That's the point what I'm making. So cool. Let's extrapolate this, right? Because since we're talking about, because I believe that everybody is upset about the loss. I believe everybody is saying that we're a better team than the Denver Broncos, but I also believe that 100%. Most people in the comments.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Okay, Mike is not saying that, but everybody else.
But I
want everybody in the comments to answer this question. I want everybody in the comments to answer this question because I think my cousin had hit me even before the game, and he said that, and he's on Mike's line, that the Denver Broncos had a chip on their shoulder from last year or whatever. But I want to hold that because Josh Allen. People are saying that we lost this game because of Josh Allen. Is that fair?
I think it's fair.
I'm asking everybody in the comments.
My blame probably he gets like 99.8% of it.
Okay, he gets a lot of
it. Rad, we lost because of Josh Allen. Matt, we lost because of Josh Allen. Mike, do you believe we lost the game because of Josh Allen?
I won't be contrarian. I say yes.
We lost the game because of Josh Allen. Anybody else in the comments? I just want to be clear amongst all of us Bills fans. Did we or did we not lose the game because
he knows that?
We lost the game because of Josh Allen. Josh Allen stood up on a press conference and said that he is the reason why we lost. All right, we can all agree on that. But my question is, right? Was this a situation where Josh Allen had the haywire gene and he just lost control of what he was doing? Or is this indicative of the player that we have? Like, can he not show up in big moments? Is this like how do y'all feel about Josh Allen?
Only one of his turnovers to me was chaotic, sugar high Josh at the half. I don't know what that was. Honestly, I've never seen a worse place.
It was when bad coaches put you in that position. That's
listen, I know, right. Ignore that. I haven't seen.
I tell you to drive on ice, you might slip.
Yeah, that was a terrible. I don't know what Josh was trying to do. I'm not sure if he had a brain fart, if he thought it was the fourth quarter, not the second. I don't know. But that was the only issue. Like the fumble after halftime, could he have better pocket presence and felt it? Maybe. But I literally, Shakira was like a little speed boost.
Yeah.
And let Benito get right to him. And the two picks, to me, I've been complaining about Josh Allen deep passes for 4 or 5 years. Wow. He don't throw a great deep ball. I think Drake May throw a much better deep ball than Josh. And I think this offseason, Josh needs to get back in the lab and really work on his deep passes. Either they throw it too far or he throw them short. And both of them was short. And that's why both of them were intercepted. We can discuss the Brandon Cooks one if that was a catch or not later. But I don't think those weren't bad passes or they weren't bad ideas. They were just bad execution.
Yeah, I was going to say they're good ideas with bad execution for sure.
I think let's be real. Josh has been great in the playoffs. In the beginning of this, I said Josh level is going to rise. In the Jaguars game, it rose, right? He had a regression despite far his worst playoff game, maybe since his first one, the Houston one, when he was just throwing the ball everywhere. But that, I mean, that's what it is. But we got to be okay, not okay, but you can't be great in every playoff game. We just seen Patrick Mahomes, the great Patrick Mahomes, had a terrible Super Bowl against Philly, like the worst game I've ever seen him play. So, he entitled. So I'm not like, he was bad. Yes, he was bad. And yes, it was a bad game, but Josh Allen's still a top 2 quarterback in the NFL. He has more good games than bad games. He had more great playoff games than bad playoff games. And if he played the same game again, I think he would be better. So even though I am mad at Josh Allen, no, this is not indicative of the player because the last 6 playoff games has been great. You know what I'm saying? What are you talking about? He's been great. He's one of the best playoff quarterbacks in history based on stats. That's just stats. You know what I mean? So, no, it's not indicative of the player. Josh Allen's great. He just had a bad game.
I wasn't gonna do this pod. I really wasn't, but I have to. I'm forced to do it because I'm consistent on this pod, and everybody know I've been consistent on this pod about this. I've been saying this for years now. I've literally been saying this for years. Mills said it in our group message. I've said for years, trade Josh Allen for 6 first-round picks. I've said that on this podcast multiple times that we should trade Josh Allen for 6 first-round picks. And the reason being is because of this. I just don't see the big game in it. And I'm not saying that he's not a great player. I'm not saying that he can't reach a great height. He's shown it, MVP. Shout out to him. But all I'm saying is decision-making is a big thing. And what I've seen when we played the Texans in that one game in 2019, the Lord showed me then. Like, I seen it. I didn't need to see anymore. I didn't need to see anymore. Something is not right. It is off in his mind. And he shows it time and time again. And had we have traded Josh Allen for 6 first-round picks, I guarantee you would have won a Super Bowl by now. That's a fact.
So
no,
what would you
we all agree on that.
What would you
I
give?
I don't agree on that.
The Patriots is about to make the Super Bowl. The New England Patriots.
What would you get with the picks?
Drake May. We would have.
So if we got 6 first-round picks, hold on though. Historically speaking, if we got 6 first-round picks, is Brandon Beane going to hit a home run with any of those?
I've already said
he's not hit it.
Time ago.
His only home run first-round pick so far is Josh Allen. That is it.
I've only said fire Brandon Beane 1,000 times on this pod, so I'm consistent about that too. I'm consistent. Everything that's happening right now, Sam is consistent about. Josh Allen 6 first-round picks. McDermott. Everybody know at the beginning of the season. 13-second game. I said we need to fire McDermott then. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Everybody walked past me. All I'm saying is I'm just being honest. Like, we got more shots with 6 first-round picks than what we're doing with Josh Allen right now. Can we all agree on that?
All you've been trying to do is replace Josh Allen.
No, I'm trying to place everything.
No, you wouldn't. You be trying to find a quarterback. Every year you're trying to find a quarterback.
I'm asking this question. I'm asking this question. If you just look at the landscape of every team, when we started the season, probably besides the Rams, maybe every team, we would have never said they would have made the Super Bowl. Period. That's about to make this. That has a shot to make a Super Bowl right now. So I mean, like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? It has that's a myth. It's a myth of what we're saying. The only quarterback that was money like that is a Pat Mahomes, and I've already announced that Josh Allen is not him. I say that on this pod every time. My point is that
no, you haven't. This is literally contrary of what you've been saying the last few years.
That's not true.
But we're gonna let you rock out.
That's a fact.
Mike, what are you even talking about?
I said that Josh Allen's better than Pat Mahomes. What every time we
no, you didn't say that, but you
always say
were saying Josh
Allen for 6 first round picks.
You ever said that in 2 years?
Thank you. In 2 years, you haven't said that. What are you talking about?
That's cap.
What are you even talking about?
We can move on. That's cap. Mike ain't been on the pod in 2 years. What are we talking about?
He been watching.
I've been in the comments, dog. I've been in the comments.
Listen,
I've been in A-Nouns.
Everybody, shout out to everybody. I got to move on from my Josh Allen take, but we're not getting rid of Josh Allen.
You saying that? You feel like we should trade Josh Allen?
I've been said that. But you already know that. I've been said that. All right, that's all I got. We're not getting rid of Josh Allen, but we did get rid of Sean McDermott. Most of the people on this podcast, even everybody in the comments, said that we wasn't gonna get rid of Sean McDermott. Multiple people have said that. We're going into a new stadium. Many people have said we shouldn't got rid of Sean McDermott. Bruce Arians, there are a lot of people on podcasts, a lot of pundits that have said this was a bonehead move. I mean, it's just it's a huge fallout to the degree that Brandon Beane and Terry Pagula is going to have a press conference at 10 o'clock tomorrow to calm the backlash. Now, I will say this, and sources have told me this. This is my inside source, and I will let it. This is what everybody's been waiting for. Sources have told me to be very careful. They said something could be said this tomorrow at the press conference or by the draft. My sources have told me that Brandon Beane's seat is not secure, and Terry Pagula, or I would say this, sources close to the Pagula family have talked about allowing Brandon Beane to finish the draft process and then fire him after that. All I'm saying is
Doug Whaley all over again.
This is all I'm saying is these are the sources that are close to the situation. I don't know if this is happening. My sources have generally always been right. I said it on this podcast in the beginning of the year that everybody has grown tired of Sean McDermott. Didn't I say that, Mike? Mike, you remember I said it on this podcast.
But the players
have grown tired of Sean McDermott. They don't gotta say it, but because I'm saying it. I'm saying
Jordan Phillips. Jordan Phillips came out and said it's stupid, but I'm not really looking for his opinion. So
it was like five different players came out.
Yeah.
And a lot of players said that. Yeah. And I can't. Shout out to Herb. I'm not. You never cite a good source, but I'm just telling you what I've heard. So what do you?
Cite the source is crazy, Herb. Yo, man.
Yeah, I don't know where you got that from. Yeah, but McDermott got fired. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it in the comments, y'all. McDermott got fired. I'm gonna go to Matt first. I'm gonna just go to Matt. Sean McDermott, 98-50 regular season, 8-8 in the postseason, 5 straight AFC East titles.
You gotta clap it up for that.
One trip to the Super Bowl. Lost in grand fashion most games in the playoffs. You seen it? I didn't.
Wait, you said one trip to the Super Bowl for who? You talking about
no trip to the Super Bowl?
Oh, no trips. I said one trip. Okay, I'm about to
say. So my question is to everybody in the comments. I want everybody in the comments to answer this question: McDermott being fired, fair or foul? Matt.
I think with the timing, like with going into the new stadium, I guess for me it's going to be dependent on what they do. When you make a move like this, you fire your winningest head coach in the history of your team. Granted, he didn't do anything in the playoffs, but neither did any coaches before him. So that argument we can't say for any other coaches in the Bills uniform there. But if you do something like this before going into a new stadium, you got a lot of people spending money to go in here. At the end of the day, it is a business. You got to really wow the people investing in this going forward, right? So the next move has to be a really great move, I think, for the Pagulas, or else I think it'll be really ugly. If
you don't think people will go to the stadium, Matt? Is that what you're saying?
I'm telling you, people will go to the stadium, but I think a lot of people will back out of things if this turns out to be ugly. You'll get a year or two out of it, and then it'll get ugly like it was when I first bought season tickets, and I could buy them for $400 for the season.
Sound good to me.
There's people that, like you said, it is a business, right? It's something that people are really dumping a lot of money into, and when you pull a move like this, a guy and you get rid of a guy who's for the most part I think loved in the city and things like that, you have to bring somebody in who's gonna have immediate success. And that's
go ahead, Matt. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, you're good.
Josh Allen is the lead vocal, and McDermott and everybody else is just the backups. They're not even guitarists. Like, as long as Josh Allen is on that field, people will go to the games.
No, and I can agree with that, but also too, you have this winning. You have this winning culture, obviously, because of Josh, but McDermott does play a huge hand in that because he is the dude that came in and changed everything around.
True.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Fair or foul, Brad?
I'm gonna start. I think ultimately it's gonna be fair, but I start with love. Shout out to Sean McDermott. He's definitely the best coach I've seen in the Bills. I can go through the list of the Bills coaches. It was just bad. 1 year.
Are we not saying Marv because we are younger?
I said the best coach I've seen.
We were just on the scene when Marv was at his
and at the worst, he's the second greatest coach in Bills history.
Yes.
Let's do that. That's easy. That's an easy given, right? So like you said, 9 years, 8 playoff appearances. I seen a stat since 2020, we got the most points, the least points allowed, and the most wins in the regular season. So he's a great regular season coach. 5 divisions, we are almost not spoiled, but expectations is high for the Bills now, right? Obviously having Josh Allen, but he broke this drought without Josh Allen. So he has to have credit for being a great coach, being a high-end coach. I would say, keeping a top 5 coach the last 5-6 years, and we are losing a good coach, I believe, especially a great defensive coach. I think he top 3 in the league on that end. But yeah, somebody that for me, Mike might not agree, but for me that was a bad loss. It's almost an inexcusable loss. I think we were way better than Denver. And we was way better. And like I said, this is the worst Bills team in his tenure. And I feel like we was the better team on that field still, right? And we lost in that fashion. So I think somebody had to be held accountable. Somebody had to be held accountable. Josh not gonna be held accountable in that way. I think he felt it, but though? I'm saying Josh wasn't gonna be held accountable. You can't. I mean, I don't. You believe you want to get rid of Josh? I don't. So somebody had to be
even in that. But I'm just saying, okay, like, but okay, even if we don't get rid of Josh, how can you hold Josh accountable without getting rid of him?
Fire his head coach. What are you talking about? Firing everybody, like
people. How is that holding Josh accountable?
Because obviously this is only he only had one head coach his whole tenure, right? So losing your head coach and possibly losing your offensive coordinator, losing the people that you grown comfort with,
because of bad offensive coordinators, bro.
No, I'm talking about losing your head coach. Somebody had to be held accountable, and for me, I understand why it's Sean McDermott. That loss is bad. We could talk about Brandon Beane. The people want Brandon Beane being fired, but I believe Sean McDermott had to be the one to go first. If your source is right about being let go later, but I believe Sean McDermott, because the games is matter. You lost the game, all right? The game is lost. I mean, and I feel like he know that, right? And I feel like at the end of the day, I'm gonna stop talking. I believe he overplayed his hand. Right, the reports come out about 5 weeks ago. He talked about him as he sat down with Pagula and Bean, and he talked about how he don't feel like this roster is good enough to win a Super Bowl and all whatever he did. I think that was just overplaying his hand. Like that showed that one, he don't believe anymore, and when he did have a top 2-3 roster, he didn't win it. So what happened when in 2022 when you had a top 5 roster, when you had defense, when you had 10 Pro Bowlers? Why didn't you win then? So you come and sitting down and talk about I don't have the players. Where when you did have the players, when Brandon Beane did give you that roster, you didn't win it either. So it was some type of grace he needed to give Brandon Beane, and I think he overplayed his hand. And I think that and the other things is the reason why you just had to let him go. Because it was definitely a power vacuum, a power struggle there, and I don't think they like that. So I think he just overplayed his hand, but I think he's a great coach. I think he's gonna be. I mean, if you want a job, I think Cleveland will love him. He's a great coach. I think you should. All these other teams should go after him, but somebody had to be held accountable, and I think Sean McDermott is the right answer. So I believe it's fair.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure Brandon Beane was dirty macking those sweets during those games, boy. I could only imagine what Brandon Beane was saying. Yo, look at this bum man. He's so trash. Look at that. See what he just did right there. I swear, if we had Clint Kubiak or if I'm put myself in Beane position, because I might have dirty Mac once or twice in my life. Maybe he like yo you remember when we had Dable and I came to you. I was like, yo, we could keep Dable and let McDermott go, or we keep McDermott, and we kept McDermott. And then last year I came to you. I was like, yo, we could get Ben Johnson, or we could keep McDermott, but that's up to you. And like, are you sure you want to do that again? You sure you want to go get Clint? You sure you want to promote Brady? You sure you want to? And I think Beane was just putting that bug in Pagula air, and he like, know what? Maybe you are right. Maybe McDermott not the person that we need. Maybe we do need to go get this young offensive minded head coach. But I think it was fair for two reasons. One, I don't care that it wasn't McDermott's fault that why they lost and he got fired, because when McDermott and special team coach had 12 players on the field against the Broncos, and then they missed a kick and then got a chance to re-kick it, the very next day he fired Dorsey. Like, Dorsey didn't have 12 players on the field, but somebody got to be held accountable. Someone got to be held accountable. It's going to be you. It's not going to be me. It's not going to be my DC. It's going to be you. So the same thing just happened to McDermott. And once again, like I've been saying this probably like 3 years, bro, this job is not for life. Like, it's not, you don't get this job for life. You get a short amount of time to go win. And if you don't
especially
win,
with a Hall of Fame quarterback,
and then we move on. I don't care that I had we had Marone, and we had Ryan, and we had JP Lossman years ago. Like, what got nothing to do with this? They got nothing to do with what's going on right now. No, I don't. Cheney. I don't care about
Wade
none of
Phillips.
that. Right. Yeah, Wade Phillips. Why? Rob Johnson, Flutie. Why do I care about anything that happened more than 5 years ago? Then we talk about right now. Right now, you're not getting the job done, so we're moving on to somebody else that we think we can. And I don't want my team to operate like that. I want my team to be a real team and not worry about all emotion. But he broke the drought. Thank you. We appreciate your services. You did an admirable job. Now we moving on.
And I would say this. I talked about the 9 years. It was great, but he did underachieve. He underachieved.
Let me say this. I think the firing was foul.
Wow. Really?
And the reason why I say it's foul is because he should have been fired. Right at this point, you might as well keep him because I don't even know why he's on the team. Like when we lost in 13 seconds, there's no way. Like that's listen, if you steal from your job, you get fired, right? If you steal time, you get fired.
Depends if you got a strong union or not.
Immediately, effective immediately. You know what I'm saying? And my issue is like what he did, what Sean McDermott did in that 13 second, it was a fireable offense. He should have got fired. He should have never been on the team ever after that point. That's insanity. It was literally insanity. And I'm going to push back on people when we say this too, because I don't like it. I don't like when we say we wasting Josh Allen's year. We're not wasting Josh Allen's years. He lost to one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen in our entire life. His name is Patrick Mahomes. That's not wasteful. It's not wasteful. He just lost to a better player. And even this game, it's not, did we waste Josh Allen this year? No, we didn't waste Josh Allen this year. He had a bad game. He win this game.
We did waste him.
I don't think that we wasted him.
Josh Allen wins this game. Tyrell Savers and Gabe Davis as a wide receiver. Get out of here.
That may be true. That may be true, but there have been other quarterbacks who claim to be great who've had terrible receivers and they win Super Bowls. So that's not a thing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Tom Brady.
For me.
But he had Gronk though. So don't give me that. He had Gronk.
Not in the beginning. He didn't have Gronk in the beginning.
Oh, you're talking about 03?
We know that there have been quarterbacks who won with less. That's my point. My point is that they won with less.
Jim Brown won Super Bowls too. All right, I get
it. Pat Mahomes won. He had Travis Kelce, but he had garbage around him. So let's keep it a buck.
Come on, but we talk about all-time tight end. You gotta have a weapon. If you give me a weapon and some other bad,
okay, cool.
I'm not talking about you. Okay. You have zero weapons.
He had the best running back in the league and the best offensive line in the league. That's what everybody keeps telling me.
Back stuff.
That's what everybody.
He had enough to
win. But the point is, I will like I said. As it relates to Sean McDermott, it was foul for us to fire him because if we didn't fire him after 13 seconds or less, I don't know why we fired him now. Like I just don't get my point.
This is way worse than 13 seconds.
I don't think it is. I think 13 seconds is probably one of the biggest blunders I've ever seen a coach make. Besides Coach Rabel, shout out to him. It's the biggest blunders I've ever seen a coach make on a field. Like it's honestly insanity.
What's the blunder?
Before you say that,
everybody else defense, the kickoff,
rat on the football, rat on the
kickoff. And then whatever the two defensive plays they did that left Kelce
it's inexcusable. Yeah, it's
wide
inexcusable.
Open.
Yeah, it's just inexcusable.
Yeah,
to play the sideline, they got timeouts, and it's like inexcusable.
How about make a tackle? How about make a tackle?
It had nothing to do with tackling.
13 seconds to make a tackle.
They playing that.
Levi Wallace was 30 yards downfield.
Yeah, like he was told to do that. That's a coaching, but he needs to be fired for that.
Let me say this. I'm not arguing that. I mean, he's over. Combination of both things is why he's fired. I'll say that. So it don't really matter. Combination of both.
Sean McDermott's going. Let's talk about the coaches that we're going to get. And before we do that, I do want to say to everybody in the comments, Mike made a statement. If you do want to know when Mike Dirty Mac last, ask him about the Illumini game. But to everybody out there, as it relates to our head coach, we want to know who we're going to get, right? Yeah. We're going to talk about Brandon Beane last because I got a lot of thoughts. Mike Vrabel, and I said he was a better coach. It pans out. Sean Payton, McDonald, Sean McVay. They're the last four, right? We don't have a coach now. So I'm going to ask everybody in the comments. I want everybody in the comments right now to put who they want as the next head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Some people have thrown out Brian Daboll. Some people have thrown out Joe Brady. Some people have thrown out Clint Kubiak. Some people have thrown out Davis Webb from the Broncos. Some people have thrown out Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator of the Chargers. I've even saw Robert Saleh, but he's gone now. That would be insane. Mike McDaniel, I've heard. Frank Wright. I mean, they're you know what I mean, many names that's thrown out there. So I'm gonna go to Matt. Matt, as far as the one you want to replace Sean McDermott, because obviously we need a head coach now. Who do you say?
For me, I guess you got to go on the offensive side because if you're just going to bring in another defensive coach, I think you could have just kept McDermott at the end of the day, unless you're going to pair him with a stud offensive coordinator and change that. But I think we got to bring in somebody offensive, and then they got to bring in another defensive guy who can kind of change the scheme because we have to be able to.
Big Bill.
You have to be able to get guys that can go after the quarterback. I got some stats that we can talk about later, but man, we got to be able to get to the quarterback, and we have to have a defensive coordinator who can get his players to do that.
That's not. Do you think that we have the players on our team right now?
I don't think that we have the players on our team right now.
I don't think the defensive coordinator is going to do anything for that.
Defensive ends, but I think that stems from a guy who shouldn't be here either. I saw a stat earlier. We haven't had a defensive end get a sack in the playoffs since 2020. Jerry Hughes.
Can I say something though? Why are we talking about defensive ends and anything like that when every time I spoke about the defensive line, y'all all looked at me like I was insane? That's all I want to ask.
That's not the whole D line.
Why do
the whole D line? No, the whole D line. No. But I've been every week you guys ask me what I want to see, and I always say I want to see our defensive ends get home. They don't get home.
Get home before.
Let's talk about head coach. Matt, who do you want as a head coach?
I want Kubiak. I like Kubiak with what he's done with Sam Darnold and what he did with Geno Smith. He's been calling plays for that. His only knock is he's only been calling plays for 2 years, but in his 2 years, he's had pretty good success calling plays. And I think with Josh Allen and whatever group that hopefully Brandon Beane gets in here, he'll be able to keep it rolling.
Yeah,
Mike, who do you want?
I don't know, man. I was torn. Am I against in a defensive guy? It's funny because Mill sent a thing of Bruce Arians, and I was like, let me see what Bruce Arians talking about. Then I clicked on it. It's him dissing Brandon Beane. I'm like, well, that's not going to happen. But I've been saying I want an offensive guy for the last 5 years. I think we need to pair them with Josh for the rest of Josh's career, so we don't got to keep switching offenses with Josh, and we can really maximize them. Brady talked about how important it was for him to be in the same offense for his career, because he really just mastered it. Man, it is like when you when you snap the ball, like you just know exactly what you need to do because you've been doing it for the last 8-10 years. I didn't mind the Robert Saleh with Mike McDaniel combo if that was going to be a thing. I wouldn't have been against that. I can't see Mike McDaniel being my head coach right now, but being my OC would be nice. The idea thing is to have what the Chiefs have. Is have your head coach be offense and then have one of the best DCs just not even want a defensive job. So you just keep those two guys for 5-6 years and just dominate. But clearly that probably won't happen. So I'm leaning towards Kubiak or Shieldhouse, anybody that's from that Shanahan McVay tree. If you give me somebody that just even used to get them coffee, like I want to interview them because they probably know more football than a lot of people. So I'm looking for someone from that tree.
Right.
I want the best coach available. Offense, defense. I really don't care about that. I'm a big fan of Joe Brady. I don't want him to leave the building. Head coach might be a lot, but if we gotta do that, keep him. I know people looking for this new offensive coordinator, the nice new thing. We have him, Joe Brady. I could talk to the stats. He's been the best offensive coordinator. That's not, the play caller, the Shanahan, the McVays, all those guys, Ben Johnson. You can't get those Matt LaFleur's. Besides those guys, the next step for me is Joe Brady. His offense has been great. Literally, he's been great. So he's going to get an offensive coordinator job anywhere people are going to go. So I think losing him would be a big problem for us. I don't think we should do that. So I was watching the college football game last night. Let's go get Signetti. Why not? Let's go get him. Let's go get Siggs and keep Joe Brady and let's roll. And I pull a Jimmy Johnson type thing, what he did with the Dallas, and just get a couple bowls from there or something. Let's get this hot hand. Let's go get Signetti. Let's go get the big hire that's going to be like, oh yeah, we mean business. So any retread, I mean Kubiak, I think Kubiak, I'd rather just go Joe Brady. I don't understand the Kubiak thing, but I understand because he's he's offensive coordinator, he's good, but I would just keep Joe Brady if we go on Kubiak. Dabo, I understand, but no, but for me it's Cignetti or just the best coach you can find. Offense, defense, I don't really care. I want to keep Joe Brady. That's pretty much my combination.
I would say for me, Mike said it, and not this guy. Mike was like, I get Bruce Arians, but like I like the thinking of it, Bruce Arians, though I really do. But for me, I preach redemption. I'm about redemption. I would go get like John Gruden, honestly. I think John Gruden is an amazing coach. He has a proven track record, and I think that Josh Allen needs a John Gruden type in his face to just look at him. When we sit down and look at plays and like, that's stupid. Don't do that. Like, that's a dumb play. You don't have to do that. And I think that you need a coach who has won a Super Bowl, who has been there before. I'm not even like it from the
John Gruden. I don't know if John Gruden ever going to be allowed back in the NFL. He's literally suing.
That's why I said redemption. I don't know. I mean, if they allow, they allow everybody else back in the NFL. So I don't know why.
But it's a reason why John Gruden is not coaching. I don't know if he's going
John Gruden. Okay, if not John Gruden, and I know people are gonna laugh at this, but like I would take Mike McCarthy.
Hell no. Nah.
You can say that Mike McCarthy has a proven track record of winning games.
But this a fact. This fact. No coach who went to another team never won a Super Bowl. That won a Super Bowl, that went to another team, never won another Super Bowl. So it's no coach that got two Super Bowls with another team. Like, it's no coach in history. I'm not saying it's impossible, but that's just it hasn't happened.
He could be the first. Those coaches didn't have Josh Allen either. I'm just saying that Mike McCarthy.
You trying to trade him? We're not gonna have him either. You want to trade him?
I mean, they're not gonna do that, but I would trade Josh Allen for 6 first round. But Mike McCarthy. I mean, over Clint Kubiak. Like, I don't even understand. Like, that's insane. Like, any of those like players or people that y'all name, like, why would I hire Brian Dable over Mike McCarthy? That like that is insanity. Like, Brian Dable has done nothing as a head coach. He's a joke, for that matter. Like, he literally had bad seasons. Like, what are we talking about? Like, any of the like Robert Saleh, like, what are we saying? Those are bad coaches. We know that. We've seen them be bad.
Those coaches says you should.
We know that Mike McCarthy has been good. We've seen Mike McCarthy win multiple games. It's a fact. And he was in Jerry World. You can't take anything that happens in Dallas. It's a crapshoot down there. It's a mess. It's a legitimate mess down there. It's not even real.
Mike McCarthy
Jerry Jones is a nutcase.
It's not terrible. I'm not mad at it. Because you do want a proven track record, but it's just like, I don't know. He's not my cup. I'd rather keep Joe Brady. If we go on offensive guy, I don't understand. We have the top 3 offense the last 2 years. Why not just keep our offensive corner if we go on offense? Like, if we want to go offense, we have one of the best offensive corners in the NFL. Like, look at the stats. I don't get it. But
thank you, Nick. Somebody throw that up. I mean, I think I said this in the group chat. It's like you bring whoever we're gonna bring in right now. I don't think that they're better than McDermott. That's why
Mike McCarthy is a better coach than Sean McDermott.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Maybe
what has he won more than McDermott?
You know,
did he win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you mean.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes, he won a Super Bowl.
What are you talking about? I'm thinking of just Dallas.
Second year, Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. I mean, that was 20 years ago.
If you win a Super Bowl, you are better.
I don't think he's better than him now.
You are better. That is a legitimate fact. What are we talking about?
So do you want Doug Peterson?
Yes, give me Doug.
You want Doug Peterson?
Yes.
Now we're getting crazy. Now we're getting crazy.
Well, call up Dungy.
Doug Peterson is a better coach than Robert Saleh, Clint Kubiak, or any of these other names that you get. Than Brian Dable.
Peterson
what
just had Jaguars and they looked bad with him. They looked terrible.
Okay, but terrible. Just because that may be fine. But I've just seen Brian Dable look bad. Like every coach you're not gonna name, I'm telling you, they look bad, just as worse. I at least want somebody who won a Super Bowl. At least.
Go get Cignetti, bro. Let's go.
Or do something crazy.
Go get Cignetti, bro.
Do something crazy.
All I'm
saying is Doug Peterson has a proven track record. I know that for a fact. Mike McCarthy, proven track record. John Gruden, Jim Caldwell, for God's sakes. Like, there's some people, y'all say that, but I don't. Either we gonna go new and hot. Like, what's the kid from Notre Dame?
Marcus Freeman.
Like something like something idiotic like that. Either we go that way or we go tried and true. I'm not gonna go middle of the road. If we go middle of the road, it's a mute point. And let me say this.
You would have preferred John Harbaugh.
Let me say this real quick. Let me say this. No, because he wanted too much money. Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick.
Let's go, Swanson. Don't let him go.
For people saying that the coach is not going to be better than Sean McDermott, that cannot be true. But also, if you divorce your wife, are you going to say that this wife is not going to be better than that one? Let's just stop saying that, y'all. All right, can we move past that? Because that's
wait. Now, what if you had a good wife that cheated on you?
Then the next one still got to be better.
So it's different. It's nuance, right? It's nuance.
Let me ask this question though. Because we got to get off the show. Because we're at Wildin'.
I guess you're no longer good.
A lot of people are saying that Sean McDermott shouldn't have got fired. Brandon Beane should have got fired, right? Or they both should have got fired, which I'm a proponent of. But Matt, if we could talk about the Brandon Beane, everybody in the comments, what do y'all got to say about Brandon Beane? Do y'all think Brandon Beane should have been fired? Do y'all think Brandon Beane should have got a raise? And let me say this to everybody who may be new on the show coming. Let me say this real quick. I got okay. My sources have said this. Brandon Beane, this is what my sources have said, that is close to the Pagulas. I'll say it that way. They have said that be careful about saying that we kept Brandon Beane because they may allow him to just do the draft and then fire him after the draft. Right? That's what they're saying. That's definitely been talked about. That's definitely been floated around. So people, so just take that for what you want. My sources close to the Pagulas, have said that we're waiting after the draft. They may probably fire Brandon Beane. But what you gonna say?
I'm just saying, people keep saying that the greatest coach of all time is out there. Is it possible if we bring back Bill Belichick, would you lose your mind? Because you want somebody tried and true. Is Bill Belichick is the definition of that?
This is the problem with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick is at cheerleading commercials. He's not himself. You know what I mean? Bill Belichick.
If he break up with the girlfriend,
Bill Belichick is who.
If he break up with Shorty,
rocks house. Like Bill Belichick is out there.
But what if he break up with Shorty? Would you want him?
I think he damaged goods. Yeah.
I don't know.
He zooted and
booted. I think he can come back and show that he could do it without Tom. I don't know. I like it. I like that.
Would you? I'm saying, would you be mad tomorrow, Bill Belichick? If we see an interview, would you be like, oh my God? If you see Bill Belichick just interviewing, should we even interview him? I feel like we should interview.
No, I wouldn't be mad, but whoever we're gonna get is gonna they're gonna come in. They're gonna come in dependent on Brandon Beane to fix the roster that he kind of put into and puffed his chest out and said it was the greatest roster and that people were dumb for questioning his roster and things like that. This is a guy who gave $70 million to Curtis Samuel, Josh Palmer, and Elijah Moore, and we're -3 with -$3 million with the salary cap coming into next year. He's got to do some wizardry and restructure things to get some more money. He's got, he signed Michael Hoyt, who got, obviously got his ACL the second game back. You got Joey Bosa and Okunjobi, who accounted for $20 million, and they were invisible men on Sunday or on Saturday. You got a dude that hasn't hit on a D lineman, even though every year he's picked.
No, Walker, nice.
What not? Walker is the exception. Nice. I'll give him that. Nice. Yeah. I'll give him that. But it's a dude that we gotta, he's got to turn something around here, or he's really got to swallow his pride and be and.
But y'all love Beane.
We love Beane to an extent.
Beane truthers.
I didn't talk yet.
So we love Beane, and this year I've been vocal about him about raising my hand and saying, hey, this year he messed up.
He's terrible.
This year he didn't get the dues that we needed to get. He wasn't aggressive and more so than normal. And we're trying to get a ring here. Pagula wants his ring, just like Ed just said. We got to figure it out, man. We got to figure it out.
Let me say this real quick. Shout out to my cousin. I've said this.
That's where I'm going.
Oh, you going Pagula?
I'm going. He need to spend money. That's what I'm going.
Well. I mean, again, I've been on this podcast. I've said that Pegula should go broke. I've said that on this podcast numerous times that I don't care if Pegula is broke. He needs to spend every single dollar for what we're doing with the new stadium, the tax cuts that he has gotten from this region. I think it's a criminal shame. I hope that Terry Pegula, God bless his wife, the whole family, if they don't have $6 to their name, I do not care. I want them to spend every dollar on the team. What you gonna say, Rad?
I'm still in the trust being mode. I know people don't like the roster this year, but this is the worst roster he had. But once again, in 2022, 2023, he had great rosters, right? We still didn't win. So I mean, he drafted well, good players on there. I think obviously the Stephon Diggs, Von Miller signing. I'm the two main people he playing. Right. We talk about pass catcher and pass rushers. I think Stephon Diggs, we traded him. He figured whatever that is. I think everybody okayed that. I don't think it was a being thing. I think everybody okayed the Stephon Diggs trade. And the Von Miller thing, he got hurt, right? Von Miller was just bad luck. He started off great. He got hurt. So I believe if we have those two players, I mean, it maybe some things go a little different. I don't know. But I think I'm still in the trust being. I think the promotion tells me that Pegula is going to open his checkbook. I believe he's going to open his checkbook. I believe the coaching hire. I think I think they're going to turn over every stone. And I believe that Brandon Beane has done an overall. If I had to grade McDermott, Beane, who was the better, I'm leaning towards Beane because I believe he had some good teams, and I believe he can continue to do that. So if you had to pick one, obviously we could have got fired both. If you had to pick one, I understand why Pegula kept Beane and left McDermott go, because because one, I think it's easier to find a head coach than it is to find a good GM, and I think Beane is a good GM. Look at, obviously he's not Howie, but when Howie fired Andy Reid, everybody thought that was crazy. He done got 2 head coaches that won Super Bowl since then. Howie did that. So in the Ravens had 2 coaches that won Super Bowl, right? So a good GM, which I think Beane was trending towards, is harder to find than a good head coach. So I understand why Pegula kept him, and I'm fine with that, and I trust him. If he don't get it done, I mean, you just obviously just fire him, but I understand why he kept him, and I still trust him.
I'm gonna go to you, Mike. I would say this as it relates to Pegula keeping, like I said, it may be that he's gonna get fired, but also even in corporate world, and Mike knows this, when you hire somebody for 2 jobs, you're saving money. And when somebody, I mean, it's a fact.
That's a fact.
When you hire somebody to be a GM and whatever his other nonsense title is, that's saving money because that's another position. Not, you know what I mean? You might as well give it to AI at that point, right? But I do want to say this about Brandon Beane, because I've said that Brandon Beane should have been fired a long time ago. I've been very vocal on this podcast about it. Brandon Beane gave Gregory Rousseau. Gregory Rousseau is literally one of the worst players of all time, and we paid him. I said it at the time; it was a bad move. I said that at the time. I said this is one of the worst plays ever done. It's a fireable offense. I said it was a fireable offense. Then he did it anyway. Do you know that in an off season, this is what we actually did. We actually paid Curtis Samuel and Joshua Palmer money, and he tried to tell us that it was a good idea. Everybody knew that was a bad idea. Curtis Samuel is a bad football player, and he has been bad his entire life. Joshua Palmer has never been good. It's a fact. I can't make this stuff up. And he actually did it, and then told us it was a good thing, and got upset when we said you ain't got no pass catchers. All I'm saying is he's a bad.
What about Benford? You like Benford?
Yeah, I do like Benford.
Is he a top? You said he's the best corner in football.
Dead clock is right twice a day.
Oh, okay. So
I'm gonna say don't peel him. It's rain.
It's real.
Yeah, like I mean, like okay.
And we've
you
always
like Cole Bishop?
said though.
How
We've
good is
always
Cole
said,
Bishop?
No, I don't like him.
we've always said Beane hits in day 3 all the time.
He
the
doesn't
best
though.
day
Like that's a
3
myth
GM
too, though.
in
You
the
gotta stop saying
NFL.
that.
But he's
That'd be
he's
myth
the worst
too.
day 1 GM.
Like we
you like the rookie cornerback? You think he got potential?
No. I think that we have a lot of bad players.
What about the O line? You like the O line?
No, I think.
What about James Cook? You like James Cook? Do you like James Cook? Do you like Kincaid?
No, I don't like Kincaid, but he hit on James Cook.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So how many players on the field, Rad? Oh, wait. How many players on the field?
Do you like the signing of Shaq Thompson?
Rad, how many players is on the field?
Do you like bringing back Poyer?
Mike, how many players?
Bringing back Trey White help this season?
Mike,
48. 53-man roster, 48 on the field.
We talking about 5 players. Mike,
naming way more than 5 players.
How do you feel about Brandon Beane, Mike?
How's my Wi-Fi? I'm doing a little janky over here right now.
It's a little janky. And shout out to Mills. Shout out to our silent partner. Mills said that Shady's. I don't know if y'all seen this clip. He compared Calvin Benjamin to who was it? Sammy Watkins. He compared Sammy Watkins. I mean, take that for what it's worth. I'm not saying that Beane is a total dud, but what I am saying is he's proven himself to be a bad GM though.
No, he's definitely got to get. He's got a lot of work to do. He's got because
Beane should have been fired too, man.
Pagula chose Beane over McDermott, and now Beane has to show that McDermott was the problem.
He let the wide receiver cupboard get bare, and he picked the worst D lineman of all time. Like, bro, like get out of here. Like, hit the road, Jack.
We apologize for Mike internet. He got.
I know.
Mike got Verizon internet, y'all. But does anybody else have any other thoughts on the team as a whole? Anybody have any other thoughts on the team? He drafted Boogie Basham. Like, what are we like? He's a terrible.
Yeah,
like,
but y'all all. But we in revisionist history, bro. Like, I
was there. Stop telling me that.
I was there.
Why do you do that? I was there.
We love Beane. He was the draft.
No, don't. Please don't ever say that. I love Beane because you know I didn't.
He traded for Stephon Diggs. Everybody thought that was crazy. He traded for Stephon Diggs.
Everybody on this podcast know that I hated Beane.
All the things he's done. He was the architect of this team. He's the architect of this team, and this is the best team in
I was always
over
against it.
In a decade, multiple decades. He's the architect of this team.
And I've always been against him.
The 13 seconds game is on Beane? No, like what are we talking? I think now that's
5 years ago.
Ultimately, the Stephon Diggs trade is what it is. But that team that I saw Saturday should have beat the Denver Broncos. So what are we talking about? So can we get back to that? Who should have won that game? Like, who fault was that for that game? That's not a Brandon Beane issue. That game. What are we talking about? That team should have beat that team, and we should be playing in New England versus the Patriots, and we should win that game too. This architect team,
it kind of is Beane fault. It kind of is somewhat Beane fault because he let Ingram go. And the fact that we had to bring back Trey White and Poyer, it's like, bro, what you been doing for the last 4 years while they were away?
He brought them back, and they. What do you mean?
Oh, they were.
Denver and the rookie is hurt. And Benford, talking about our secondary. No, the secondary is going to be great. Cole Bishop is going to be a safety. Benford and our rookie is going to be a good. What are we talking? The secondary is great. It's going to be good. It's going to be a top 5 secondary next year. And he did that. He did that. What are we talking about?
I don't think he did that. I think that was coaching.
I think like McDermott said, letting go Ingram for Darius Slay. Might come back to bite them.
Our first round pick was hurt.
McDermott was right about that.
But our first round pick was not in the. He was hurt.
So what?
So everybody fifth corner is terrible. What are y'all talking about?
Rad, you are the GM.
Tell me a fifth corner. Name a fifth corner in the NFL. Tell me.
Kyer Elam, the one that he drafted.
Name a fifth corner in the NFL.
I just named one. Kyer Elam.
He's bad.
He drafted.
He's bad.
You're right. He's bad. You're right. Why did he draft him?
He drafted Benford that same year.
In the 5th round. It
don't matter when he drafted him. He drafted him in the same year, right?
Yeah,
he drafted Bernard.
And we coached him up.
We coached him up. All right, Beane is awesome. Day one Beane is now.
We talking now. Like everything you say.
Hit the road. Beane could have left too. Like, get out of here. Beane could have been got out of here.
You can't have it both ways to say that Sean McDermott is a good coach and Beane is just like that. You can't have it both ways.
Why I can't? I just told you. If Sean McDermott and
can I say something?
I just said since 2020, he's number one in scoring, number one in points allowed, and the most wins in the regular season. That's this team since 2020. Yeah. Somebody get credit for that.
So where are these players at on the top 100?
Somebody gets credit for that.
Where these players at for all pros? Where these players at making a Pro Bowl? Where these players
in 2022 we had 10 Pro Bowlers.
Well, yeah, bro. We had good players 5 years ago. You're right.
Who architect that team, bro? In 20.
No, you know, I was a huge Beane fan. He's been trash the last 3 years.
Baltimore Ravens have all the Pro Bowlers every year.
Nah, nigga, he could go.
They have all the Pro Bowlers every year. What do Pro Bowlers get you? Tell me what do Pro Bowlers get you? Well, like, that don't get you nothing.
But that's just not what a GM does. I'm talking about. I told you what my issues is, and I laid it out for you. His name is Gregory Rousseau. 80 million. Fire him. Period. That's all I'm saying. Joshua Palmer. Fire him. Period. Curtis Samuel. Fire him. Period. Do you want to keep? Do I gotta keep doing this? Do I?
We should have won that game.
He's a bad GM.
What are we talking about?
What else
don't those players play hard, and we should have won that game.
Hire Elam.
None of y'all talking about. That's why Sean McDermott
Elam is one of the worst players of all time.
So sat there and said, "What happened?"
What are we talking
McDermott should have won that game.
Miko Harmon dropped the pass. Brandon Cooks dropped the pass.
Who dropped the pass?
Miko Harmon and Brandon Cooks.
The receivers that we had to have.
That was a bad throw by Josh. Let's be real.
Oh my God!
Well, I think it was a miscommunication. I think Josh thought that Harmon was going to flatten out
wide open.
I think he thought he was going to flatten out.
What do you mean he's wide open?
Either way, we got we're moving on to our next move. We got the press conference tomorrow. To
hopefully it's firing Bean. Hopefully it's cool. Like
clearly not. He got to upgrade. Clearly not. He got to upgrade
too. I'm cleaning the house.
Most of the time, I don't understand. Most of the time, he's not a good GM. He's a good GM.
He's a terrible GM. Most of the
everybody gonna hit and miss. It's gonna be hit and misses on every team.
He
obviously be in it.
For me, it's his philosophy. I've been telling you, like his philosophy at the drafts to me been my biggest issue for like the last 3-4 years. Even when we had Diggs and Gabe Davis and stuff, it's like, bro, you just cool with Gabe Davis being your second best wide receiver, or you don't want to try to get better nowhere. And y'all know I was big on that. And for me, that's when Bean lost me, when his philosophy in the draft. I think he trashed now. He was good. I think he trashed now. Hopefully he get back to being good.
The receiver thing we had. You
don't have to answer the receiver thing. We got bad receivers, Raz. Nothing to talk about.
We had good receivers. What happened when we had the good receivers?
We got to move on.
Like, what are we talking about?
It was nice.
So it was nice. We was nice, and then what happened?
That the coaching got fired.
That's the reason. 13 seconds.
The ping pong. They were ping ponging on bad. NFL. They was ping ponging. One was terrible. One was the other was terrible.
Like we have the number two offense in the
NFL. I'm back.
Do y'all know that?
McDermott, they was fighting each other. McDermott was like, I want to be bad. And then Bean said, I'm gonna be even worse. And then McDermott said, I gotta be bad. Like,
all right, we're going.
Bro, we got the number two.
Too long.
Let me say this. We're leaving. We're leaving the conversation, Rat. We're leaving the conversation.
What's the best receivers left now? Bro, like,
I do want to say this: when you give somebody a promotion, I've seen them be fired.
Who on the Patriots? Right after that.
But Matt, did anybody win the contest? Matt, did anybody win the contest?
Yes, we had a contest winner. We got two prizes. Daryl Hahn won the contest this week. It's our last contest of the year.
Hahn.
We may do something. Obviously we're gonna have a couple more shows this season, so I'll see what we can do as far as contest wise going forward. But shout out to Daryl for winning the last contest that we had with AOG this year.
Over under on how long it's going to take for the coach for the contest, the person with the closest amount of days for the coach search.
Yeah,
it's going to take 5 days, 10 days, 15 days.
Tomorrow at 10 a.m. I don't know. We'll see.
Ooh.
Yeah, we'll see.
They just gonna be copping pleas, or it ain't gonna be nothing.
No,
crazy.
Maybe not. Shout out to AOG.
Definitely appreciate
them.
Congratulating Bean for his service. He did a great job. I give
kicking McDermott back in. I can't wait for that. That's gonna be funny.
We'll see. Press conference at 10 o'clock. So everybody tune into that. We got another show next week. We need to settle some things as it relates to what we're gonna do this offseason, right? Because at the end of the day, we're going into a new stadium. So we got to talk priorities in the offseason. Like, what do y'all want? What do we need? We're going to look at the draft. We got our big aficionado, Matt. He's a huge college football guy. So he's going to lay out, kind of who we should be looking at and things of that nature. Hopefully we get some more information. But listen, shout out to everybody in the comments, man. Definitely appreciate y'all rocking with us the whole season. I just need y'all to do me one favor. If y'all can go to Overdue Bills podcast at YouTube, Overdue Bills podcast at YouTube. Follow us, subscribe to us over there, man. Want y'all to subscribe to our YouTube, trying to get our numbers up. Definitely trying to get monetized. It might be already monetized. Rat might be taking the money, but shout out to him or Mills.
Reinvestment. I just put it back in there. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, so listen, we appreciate y'all, and y'all been rocking with us. But be back on the show next week. We're gonna have another spirited debate next week. Y'all know how we end every show with a little bit of that. Hey.
Hey.
Let's go.
Only Buffalo is going to win it, folks.
Kick your heels up and shout.
Let's see why the Buffalo Bills are en route to the playoffs.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now.